You might as well get way over there because I met this cute little red-headed girl, blonde girl, and so she like hooks onto me. We become good friends, and she massages and does all these wonderful things for you, and runs everywhere, and lights candles and does stuff. So anyway, I'm a Dragon Con, and I was at my panel, and you know, before going back to where I was signing and stuff like that, I decided to go back and visit my room. And I go back to visit my room, and I walk in the room, and there's Aaron and my cute little blonde girlfriend, and he's getting a massage on my bed. You remember?
Dude, this woman gives the best massages. You have to come to my room and get a massage. And I said,
wait, I said that?
Yes, you did. I said, okay, this is kind of weird, but all right. So then you walk in and you're like, how you doing? Pretty good, huh? All right, I gotta get my water. Totally. You walked up to me at the tables. We're like, see that girl over there? Yeah, that's my girl. And she loves you.
Squeeze me out the airlock again. I forgot all about that. Wow.
I have the weirdest story. There I am getting a massage, and Richard Hatch walks in. And I taps out, goes in, it's over. You've been sitting a lot, have you? Those plane rides are brutal. And it's funny because his hands were on the headboards, but I felt this pounding on the bed. Dr. Hatch to proctology.
Thank you for the question, by the way.
I don't have any fun at cons. I have the weirdest question I've ever been asked. This woman at Dragon Con asked me, tell us something about the chief that's new that you don't know. What? And Bamber just started talking. He's like, okay, she's obviously an idiot. So let me just... And I went, no. What? Somebody translate this, because I don't, and I was like, well, yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Okay, I have one.
I was getting a massage from Richard Hatch.
I was giving a massage. No, just speaking of really funny questions, someone one time asked me how fast the Viper goes. It was like one of the first conventions I ever went to, and I sat there and I was like, am I supposed to know this? And I'm literally in my head thinking, as fast as the crew can push it. Styrofoam, right? Okay, I'm just checking. I didn't know. I was like, welcome to cons. Now I would just say, I would make some shit up now.
Speaking of the Vipers, I have a quick story. This involves Katie. Of course it is. The first time, my son lives with his mom just north of Edmonton. Boo Oilers. I just lost half the room. And when he was younger, much younger, before I had a show, I worked at a restaurant, and so his coming to work with Dad was watching me deliver food and bring out sodas, and that got really old really quick. So he wouldn't come to work with me for the longest time. And then I got on Battlestar. I said, hey, you want to come to work? Yeah, no, that's okay. He was 9. So then his mom lets him watch it one time. Of course, she's like, fast forward. Oh, there's your dad. Oh, we shouldn't be hitting that girl. So we would watch the entire season in about 4 minutes. Oh, there's your dad. Oh, no. So he says, can I come to work with you tomorrow? I said, yeah, absolutely, dude. So we go to work, and I take him through all the stages and show him everything, and I save the hangar deck for last. So we walk into the hangar deck, and we walk around the corner, and he had the exact same expression on his face that I did when I first walked around the corner, and there was a Viper sitting there, and just, go! Wow. So I walk over, he's like, pretty cool, huh, buddy? He's like, yeah. I said, you want to go over and check it out? Really? Can we? Said, yeah, let's go. So we walk over. You wanna climb up in? Really? I said, yeah. So I roll over the stairs, and he starts climbing up, and he gets about halfway up, and he turns and he looks at me. Can we, And I'm like, what? And he says, can we go for a ride? And I went, oh no, the things they fly. I said, oh buddy, no, they don't actually fly. Oh no, Dad, I've seen the show, they fly. They don't fly, buddy, they don't fly. I'm telling you, I'm trying to explain special effects to this 9-year-old kid. Like, it's like animation, it's cartoons. No, Dad, they fly. They fly. She flies them. And I'm like, what? And he points right past me, and I turn around, and there's Katie walking behind me in her flight suit with her helmet. And I look at her, and she stops, she goes, uh-oh, what did I do? Taylor wants you to take him for a spin. And she had the same look of incredulity that I had on my face. She went, what? He's seen the show, he knows they fly, and he knows you're flying them, so can you fly? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, I don't know. Oh no, that's so cute. And she gets all teary, she's like, I can't even handle that. She runs off, he climbs up into the thing and sees that it's just styrofoam and buttons and somebody's water bottle, probably Bamber's water bottle on the thing. And then he's furious. It's like, fuck you, Dad! And stomps down the stairs, and I'm chasing him, he's running back to my trailer. I'm half telling the crew as I'm crying with laughter. Up into my trailer, slams the door. I leave him alone for like 45 minutes. I finally knock on the door, open it up. You alright, buddy? And he's just playing video games. Won't even look at me. I'm over here. Yeah. You need anything? No. That was it. He wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the day. He was furious. And he's still mad at you for not taking him up for his life.
He's not really that nice.
Katie's not really this hot.
It's very true. It's like a brother-sister relationship.
She's a redhead, she's great.
That's what Richard says. Anything I did on the show, you can blame on the writers.
But how do you prepare for that as an actor? Because those were pretty intense.
I picture Katie. No, it was super intense scenes, and that one scene where I beat her up, it's weird because when you're completely, I hate these kinds of terminologies, but when you're in the moment, wink, and you kind of lose sense, and somebody yells cut, and you forget about what you just did, and apparently I was, swinging, and I clipped her hand, and she punched herself. So they yell cut, and I look, and she's up against the wall, and she's crying, and I'm like, wow, she's really into it, even though the camera's on me. She's giving me a lot here. It's like, you hit me. I didn't hit you. I didn't hit you. And they're like, play back, let's watch that again. Oh, Nikki, I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Yeah, she's like, oh. But apparently I hit like a girl because she recovered like that.
Time for one last question, and over there.
Yeah, well, I have one question for Richard and Katie, and another one for Galen here. For you two, you guys were playing roles that I would imagine would be casting out of type. I mean, they got Starbuck, who's really butch, really tough, smokes, she drinks, she's kind of a bitch. You got Tom Zarek, who he's opposite from the hero. He's definitely in the villain role, but he's also kind of a good guy. Was it intimidating to prepare for those parts? And with Katie, especially, because you had, the fans like booing you and cursing you. Frack them, For Galen, I don't know if you knew if your character was going to become big or not. But if they didn't tell you whether you'd be a regular, how was that, like not knowing whether you'd be on the show for any amount of time? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I can only say that, I just took Captain Apollo and I put him through 25 years of prison abuse and came out with Tom Zarek. And by the way, I not kidding, actually, because I actually see Tom Zarek as a political revolutionary idealist, wounded idealist, and the Apollo character has always been kind of the true blue guy, probably the hardest guy to write for. I mean, honestly, everybody can write for the bad guy, the conflicted guy, the fracked up guy, but writing for the really true blue guy, like the Apollo character is really, really hard. So, for me, coming from Apollo to Tom Zarek gave me a chance, actually, honestly, to do what I wanted to do with Apollo back then. Because I think the way that you create drama and really get the actor ignited is to put a character into the most amazingly impossible circumstances, right? Because that's what brings out your best and your worst, is where you have to deal with that conflicted, dark side of your character. And I just found that Tom Zarek, for me, was having to struggle with probably what just about everybody that ever came through history struggled with against, injustice, tyranny, governments that suppress, and especially after post-apocalyptic, 9/11 type scenarios, governments tend to drift left or right, and you lose democracy. And I just, honestly, I related more to the Tom Zarek character than I did the Apollo character. I would get pissed off by what would happen to my character. I mean, I'm sure every actor gets connected to the character, but Tom Zarek, for me, for some reason, touched a deep nerve in me, and maybe it was a bigger, larger issue about government, about people, about how so we easily sometimes turn over our power to government, we don't make governments accountable. And Tom Zarek kind of represented that for me. So for me, Tom Zarek was like the culmination of a lot of acting, a lot of classes, a lot of characters I played, but never really having the fulfillment that I had with the Tom Zarek character. Tom Zarek was my most favorite character. The new Battlestar was probably my most favorite show I've ever been on in my life.
We are out of time, so I want to thank. I know. Anyways, I want to thank Katie, Richard, and Aaron for spending some time and sharing some stories.